everybody, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. We got enough stuff piled up here we could start an odd job video. Now, the first job on our video isn't really an odd job, but because of the time of the year, I'm going to classify it as one. Job number one on the odd jobs today, I'm going to describe with a rhyme. If it's still growing, I'm still mowing, even if it should be snowing. Yeah, it's December the 14th. And even though I thought I was done with the lawnmower for the year, apparently I wasn't. The grass had a bit of a spurt of growth in the last little bit. You can see there that was grass a couple of weeks ago, but we've had so much rain and snow and stuff, it's kind of filled back up to be a little bit of a pond like it normally is. It's just beautiful out. The last 2 days have been unbelievable, sunny and warm. So, I mean, it's not the craziest time we've ever had with grass. I cut it in the middle of January once. We got a deal like this where it suddenly got sunny and warm and a little bit of rain for probably a week in the middle of January. And the grass started growing like crazy. I had to come out and cut it. Not the whole place, you know, just kind of here around the house. It really seems to grow good. Of course, right here is our septic bed, so we get extra growth here. But yeah. Another reason I was on the lawnmower was that we had a pretty good windstorm last week, and there was a million little branches and twigs all over the place. And well, when we walk the dogs, they like to pick them up and tease each other with them, and walking them becomes quite an ordeal. There's a couple I missed. So the easiest thing to do is just run the lawnmower over them and grind them up a little bit. And it just looks so nice with the grass cut. Like, look, it's the middle of December. Look at it, it's green, it's growing, it's lush. This is unbelievable. And I don't really have a lot of lawnmower gas. I might have to go get some if I have to keep mowing. If this keeps, I mean, it's supposed to be like this for the rest of the week, so who knows? I might be doing it again. Wow. Yeah. I really love this place. Here's an AM/FM stereo Chrysler radio that I pulled out of a wreck at the junkyard. First promising sign, the light works. Let's put some power to it and hook up a speaker and see if anything comes out of it. So let's see if this one has any life. Power's on. No. Not looking too good, is it? Totally dead. I'll pop the cover off and have a look inside it. Well, here's one problem I can see. This board is supposed to be grounded to the case, and you can tell it obviously is not anymore. So we're going to dive a little deeper into this thing and see what else we can learn. Well, I don't see anything out of the ordinary in here. As I've told you before, I'm no electronics technician. All I can do is open stuff up and with my eyeballs, you know, see if it looks okay or not okay, and go from there. This looks okay. So I spied with my little eye there was actually 1, 2, 3 ground connections that were broken back here. So who knows? Maybe we fixed it. Let's try it. Well, let's try it now. If it doesn't work this time, I guess I'll put a fork in it. Power is on. And it's still as dead as a doornail. Yeah, nothing happening there. It's not doing anything. Oh, well, I'll just put it back together, put a piece of tape on it that says totally dead, and put it up in the attic with the rest of them. This one I won't throw out. I just realized there may be some hope for this little guy yet. After kind of writing it off, I was looking at it, and I realized this thing is a universal radio. It'll work on 6 volt or 12 volt, positive or negative ground. There's two switches here, and depending what position they are in. So this thing was set for 6 volt positive ground. Well, I had 12 volt negative ground attached to it. So I've switched it to 12 volt, and I can't get the positive and negative ground switch to move. So for now, I've just hooked it up as 12 volt positive ground. So we're going to put the juice back on and see what happens. This is kind of funny. I probably fried it already, but you never know. Yeah, it's still totally dead. Hey, it was worth a try, eh? Yeah, it's not doing anything at all. Well, that's too bad, because it's a neat little radio for putting it in older cars. It's so tiny, it takes up so little room in the dash. Well, what are you going to do? We gave her a try, eh? So here's the one we got at the wreckers. Let's see. Well, so far so good. It lights up. I think I've got it hooked up correctly.
Traffic in 35 minutes of delay for a northbound.
So there we go. FM works anyway. How do you... Oh, AM. Yep, AM works on it also. Good. Yep, scan works. Good. Okay. So. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is put a cassette in it and see what happens. Haha. Wonder what it looks like in there. Doesn't look bad, so let's see what happens. So look at that. It ate it. So that's obviously going to need some service. Well, look at the mess I've got it in now. But I've got the guts of it exposed. And I'm going to see if I can get a belt on it. This belt seems pretty flimsy. And it doesn't seem to really drive the cassette deck. It keeps flicking back and forth, auto-reversing. So all we can do is throw a belt on it and put it back together and see what happens. I'll maybe lube it up a little bit too. Well, I found a belt that seems like it might be a tiny bit shorter, so we put that on. I don't really have anything close, so that's the best I got, so I put it in. Now the question you gotta ask, is that gear supposed to be complete? If it is, I think I've found why this thing will never work again. But sometimes these things are funny like that. They've got little voids in them so that they do different things, but all we can do is put it back together and try it. Well, let's see what it does now. It's turned off. So the cassette deck works, but it's as noisy as all get out. We'll have to work on that.
Are you psychic? No, I'm Max, professional dream.
But anyway, hey, it's a working radio. We can use it in something. Here's the next little job we got to do. When I was fixing the body on this back in the spring, remember we put a pair of quarter panels on it. I had this all apart, and this tether for the gas cap should be in that hole there, but somehow I put it in that hole. So what actually ends up happening, if this is in exactly the right place, it undoes it somehow. I keep getting my gas cap light coming on the dash. And anyway, this thing is annoying. It keeps hanging down there like that and hitting the car when it shouldn't. It should go in there and clip on there so it doesn't whack the car. So anyway, we're going to pop that out of there and put it back in there. There we go. We'll see if this gas cap will stay tight now. And that's where that thing is supposed to be. I don't know if when I, like, that's right in the center, so that obviously can't undo it. But I don't know if the way that was on there, if it was like that, if it was kind of pushing on there, you know, when I closed it and causing the problem, but that should do it. Next little job we got to do. Nick over at Real Guy Garage needs a little adapter to fit master cylinder A to power booster B. So he's provided me with some specs. We're going to make that up now. We're going to make it out of this old bolt. We're getting there. We're just turning off the head of the bolt. And then we'll start turning down the shank. The finished diameter has to be 468 thousandths of an inch. We're taking off 10 thou at a time here. There you go. Now we're just touching the shank of the bolt. Finished diameter on this needs to be 468 thousandths. And we've got 467 and a half. I'll call that a win. Now, there's two variations of this, and he's not sure which one he needs. So I'm just going to make them both. So I've made the blank for this one. Now I'm going to make the blank for that one because both end up with a taper on the end. So I'm going to grab a piece of something else, probably a 5/8 bolt, and cut it down to 5/28. And then we'll machine them both to length, and then I'll put the tapers on the ends. All right, so here's the larger one. It's finished to diameter. So now we'll saw it off and we'll start making finished ends. Now we're going to cut the taper on the end. So I've got this turned to 45 degrees, so we'll get it in close. And then you can see here, you use this to go back and forth and cut your taper. So we'll make a few passes and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. There you have it. Not bad. That's the first time I've ever done anything like that on this machine. We'll do the next one now. Now we'll finish it to length. Looks like I have to take about 30 thousandths off of it. No power cross feed on these old things. You just gotta wind it in nice and smooth with your hand. So we're taking about 10 thou at a time. There's one. Take another 10 thousandths. Then I'm not sure what he needs as far as in this end, the push rod from the brake booster has to go into it. So I'm just going to center drill it for him. And then he can put it in his drill press and finish it to whatever it needs to be with just a drill bit. That's 2. There. Now this is going to be 30 thousandths. Okay, I'll pull it out of there and we'll check the length. So we've got 1.622 and it's supposed to be by the diagram 1.620. That's close enough for me. There's no way I could take 2 thou off of this without it becoming a disaster. Now, they're both cut to length, so now we'll center drill them. And that'll just get it started so that Nick can go and do whatever he's got to do, because some of these things have a little tiny push rod in them and some of them have quite a large one. Without knowing what's in there, there's not a lot I can do. So we'll just do that, and that'll give him a start for whatever he needs. There we go, all done. Now I got to clean up the machines, and that'll be it. And thanks to my little Myford lathe, jobs like this are easy peasy when they used to be a giant nightmare.
That was easy.
Well, that's a bunch more little jobs done. I was glad I could do that one job to help out Nick. I'll leave a link in the description box below. You can check out his channel. He does some pretty interesting things. He's always mucking around with something. Anyway, I guess that'll do it for now. And until we meet again, thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch you next time on the Claremont Classic Garage. So long.